Dear protected one, something great is about to happen in your life, something you've already felt but couldn't fully understand yet. There's a deep desire, a silent request that reaches you. Something that pulses in the heart of the one waiting, with no more room for waiting. Time has been an ally, bringing clarity, and now is the moment when everything transforms. This desire is not temporary, it's no longer just hope, but a need that cries out for answers. Something inside this soul wants to get closer to you. Words can no longer express what's felt, but it's in silence that everything is revealed. There's an urgency, a need for transformation, to take concrete steps. The love being held in someone's chest needs to be lived, not just dreamed. Each thought of this soul always returns to the same conclusion: you're the way, the answer, the reason to take the next steps. I am here to share this message with you, because you need to know that this transformation is real, that the journey which began quietly is now taking on a new form. What once seemed distant now starts to become a reality. Something inside you already knows this, already feels it, already perceives it. And the connection opening between you two is stronger than anything lived so far. Now, it's time to leave behind what has been postponed. What seemed impossible now starts to look clear. The desire to take the next step, to move forward, to walk beside someone special, is no longer just a wish. This desire is urgent. It is a sincere request from the heart that can no longer be ignored. The universe is moving, bringing all the pieces into place. The truth is that souls connect in mysterious ways, and yours already has a path laid out. Every thought, every sensation, every step taken so far has led to this moment. The desire to live true love, without more barriers, without more distances, is right in front of you. There's no more doubt, no more space for hesitation. What lies ahead will be lived fully, with truth and sincerity. This growing energy is a sign that something bigger is about to be revealed. No matter how much time has passed, no matter how circumstances have diverted the gaze, now everything connects. The desire to be together, to create a story, to live real moments is becoming a commitment. And the soul that waited for this transformation knows that the moment has come. If you feel this message was meant for you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your amen in the comments. Let's strengthen this connection, and together, discover what the future holds. The journey is just beginning. Don't forget to click the thanks button to further support the channel in spreading these energies. Did you know that the universe is in motion, preparing something big to happen in your life? Something that has been awaited, but now begins to reveal itself with clarity. Everything that has been lived so far, every step, every thought, was preparing the ground for this moment. The path that once seemed uncertain now aligns, and what seemed distant is beginning to feel closer. What is to come is not something that can be ignored. It is a natural process that has been planned by the forces of the universe. There is a growing energy that connects everything around you. This energy is like a seed that, with time, begins to sprout and transform. What was once in silence now begins to take shape. Circumstances, events, everything is fitting together in a mysterious and perfect way. The desire to take the next step, to follow the flow of this energy, is strong, and it's impossible to deny that something bigger is unfolding. Within the heart of the one who seeks you, peace is beginning to take over. The uncertainty that once existed has dissipated, giving way to certainty. The clarity that it is time to act, to live, to experience what life has to offer, is now evident. There is no more space to wait or delay. What was promised in silence is now arriving with force, and the answer that has been sought will be given soon. Destiny is approaching, and every sign is pointing to the same path. You may not realize yet, but something is preparing to make this meeting happen. The time of waiting is coming to an end, and the transformation that was seated within the heart of someone is growing stronger every day. This is not a fleeting desire. It's not something that fades easily. What is happening is an awakening, a recognition of what is true and real. This energy is a force that can no longer be ignored. What is being built now is solid, it's true, it's based on mutual trust. There is no more space for doubts or indecision. The path to living a story together is already being prepared, and every step that has been taken so far has been crucial for this moment to happen. The love that was planted is now ready to bloom, and there are no more barriers to stop what is to come. Every thought, every feeling, is aligned with what should happen. The universe is ready to give this opportunity. What was lost, what seemed distant, is now drawing near with the promise of true change. The future, once only imagined, now begins to materialize, and all that needs to be done is to allow this path to reveal itself in your life. The great transformation that is to come is real. What was once just an expectation is now becoming a certainty. There is no turning back, no more hesitation. The path is clear, and the opportunity is within reach. The time to live this story is approaching. What once seemed out of reach is now by your side, ready to be lived. Something profound is happening, something that goes beyond words. Inside the heart of the one who seeks you, a truth is being revealed, a truth that has been kept hidden for a long time. Expectations, fears, insecurities, all of them were like a veil, covering what truly matters. But this veil is starting to fall. Clarity begins to emerge, and the desire to live this truth is now stronger than anything else. The silence you've been feeling, the words left unsaid, all of this was preparing the ground for what's to come. It wasn't in vain. Every moment of introspection, every gaze lost on the horizon, was preparing for a new chapter, one that is now being written with new energy. The doubts you had, the uncertainties, all of them have begun to dissipate. And now, what remains is the burning desire to live this truth fully. This is not a superficial love, it's not an endless search. What's happening now is something deep, something based on trust, truth, and the certainty that now is the time to surrender. The soul that seeks you feels this impulse, this call to act. The transformation that's happening is no longer a vague thought or a distant wish. Now, it's concrete action, it's real movement, something that can no longer be ignored. This is the moment of decision. The journey that has been taken, with all its ups and downs, now reaches the point where it must surface. There's no longer any way to delay, no more ways to continue without taking this long-awaited step. The truth, which has been dormant for so long, finally finds its space and begins to expand. The desire to share this journey with you, to build something real, is no longer just a dream, it's an urgent need of the heart. This truth that is being revealed now does not need proof or guarantees. It is felt, it is lived, it is expressed without words, through gestures, glances, actions. And it's this truth that is guiding every thought and every movement. There's no more room for what isn't genuine, for what isn't real. What truly matters now is living this love fully, without fear, without barriers. The desire that has been nurtured is not a fantasy. It is the essence of transformation, the key to everything that follows. The love that has developed over time, nurtured with patience, respect, and trust, is now ready to be lived. There's no more time for doubts or hesitation. The moment to surrender is here, and the future that once seemed uncertain is now taking shape with clarity and purpose. The clarity of this transformation brings with it the certainty that the best is yet to come. The love that is revealed now is no longer shy or insecure. It is strong, confident, and knows exactly what it wants. The journey that was being built with slow, cautious steps now advances with firm ones because the heart that seeks you no longer has any doubt that this is the path to take. The future begins to take form, and what once was a distant dream now approaches with each passing day. There is a movement inside that can no longer be denied. What once seemed like a distant choice has now become an urgent necessity. Every thought that returns, every gesture made, everything is aligned in the same direction. What seemed uncertain is now clear, the search for something real and deep. The heart is beating strongly for what truly matters, with no more distractions, no more hesitation. The internal quiet, which was often confused with inaction, is now becoming fertile ground for growth. Every step taken, no matter how silent, was preparing the ground for this moment of clarity. What once seemed like a dream or a fantasy now presents itself with unexpected intensity, as if the stars have finally aligned to reveal the true reason for all of this. The time of waiting without knowing if something would happen has come to an end. Now, the choice is being made based on what is felt in the deepest part of the soul. No longer is anything just temporary or uncertain. What is real, what is true, now reveals itself with the force of a destiny that can no longer be ignored. What was hidden is now exposed to the heart, and the desire to live this truth genuinely becomes uncontrollable. There is no more space for doubts. The questions that have arisen along the way are now answered by a calm certainty that aligns with the strength of trust. The love, which once seemed like just a possibility, now shows itself as the answer. It is no longer about waiting or imagining, but about surrendering, about allowing oneself to live everything the heart desires. The journey has reached its turning point, and the decision is clear. It is time to act, to allow oneself to feel and live. Now, more than ever, it is possible to feel the weight of the transformation. What once seemed distant is now tangible, close. What seemed like just an idea now takes shape, takes form, and is ready to be lived. It is no longer a passive wait, but an active movement toward what is known to be the right thing. Every act, every movement, is a confirmation that the path is being walked in the right direction, and there is no turning back. This internal decision, so strong and so clear, leaves no room for going back. The heart that feels love with such intensity, that can no longer hide the desire to live it fully, will guide every step to follow. What once was a field of uncertainties is now fertile ground for building something solid, true, and lasting. The time for hesitation and waiting for signs is over. Now is the time to act. The feeling that is growing is no longer an impulse or a fleeting emotion. It is an inner force that aligns with the essence of the being. It is no longer a fleeting passion or a desire that fades with time, but something that has solidified and now demands to be lived. The desire to be together, to build something real, becomes a vital necessity. The soul can no longer settle for distance, for uncertainty. The time to reunite, to join paths, has come. It's amazing how time, which once seemed to stand still, now feels like it's accelerating. With each passing day, the feeling that the time to act has arrived strengthens. What once appeared to be a long road is now seen as a shortcut, a clear path, with no more detours or uncertainties. What is at stake now is the reality of what is felt, with no more barriers, no more questioning. Every thought, every emotion, becomes a confirmation that the journey is nearing a clear destination. This internal force, once silent, now expresses itself uncontrollably. It is no longer possible to pretend that the desire to act does not exist. The call of the heart is stronger than any logic or reason that could arise. The mind, which once tried to rationalize everything, now surrenders to what is felt. What matters now is no longer the distant future, but the present, the now, and the choice to live what is ready to be lived. It's as if time has created a tension, an expectation that now materializes. The need to act, to take a step, is visible in every movement, in every word. There is no more time to wait for circumstances to adjust on their own. The need to take control and move forward with what is felt is the only option. The silence, which once felt comfortable, now only brings discomfort. The heart calls for a decision, for movement. Every gesture, every look, becomes a confirmation that what is being felt can no longer be denied. The waiting, which once seemed bearable, is now unbearable. The idea of staying in the same position without allowing progress no longer makes sense. Every second spent in inactivity feels like a heavier weight is placed on the heart. The soul now finds rest only when the decision is made, when the path is finally walked actively. The desire, which once was a timid flame, has now transformed into an intense and uncontrollable fire. It can no longer be ignored, for its presence is felt in every part of the being. There is no more space for rationalizations. The heart cries out for action, and the being, with all its being, knows that the time to act has come. The fear, which once was an obstacle, now dissolves in the face of clarity about what needs to be done. The silence, which was once seen as protection, has now turned into a prison. The need to speak, to express, to live what is felt grows every day. It is no longer about waiting for something external, but about taking the lead, making what is in the heart become reality. The universe, which once seemed to wait for a signal, now demands a firm attitude, a clear and visible decision. It's no longer a question of time, but of action. Within this transformation, the being realizes something deep. No matter how challenging the circumstances may seem, the desire to be close, to build something real, is stronger. It's not about waiting for perfection to arrive, but about courageously launching into what is genuine, what is true. The search for something real, without masks, without distortions, has now become a vital necessity, and this is what drives forward. Each step taken is now more certain, more determined. The path, which once seemed uncertain and full of obstacles, now presents itself with clarity. There is no longer any doubt about the direction to follow. Each movement is a confirmation that the chosen journey is on the right path. The heart, which was once divided, now feels complete upon realizing that all the answers were always within. What once seemed distant and unattainable is now beginning to take shape, drawing closer to a tangible reality. The desire to live what is felt transforms into a concrete action. The expectation, which was once just a distant spark, is now a fire that lights the way to be walked. The being knows that the answer to everything that was always sought is in the next step, in the choice to move forward with confidence. It is no longer about waiting for time to solve things, but taking control of the story. What was once a dream is now becoming a real possibility, full of potential. No matter what the world around says or does, what matters now is the inner strength that guides the steps. The moment to act has arrived, and the soul, finally, finds peace in knowing it is no longer alone in this process. The search for truth, for authenticity, becomes the highest priority. The desire to live a true love, free from masks or distractions, is what now fills every thought. There is no more room for games, for waiting in vain. The love that is felt is clear and strong, and it is with this feeling that the person is ready to walk, without fear of facing whatever comes next. In every glance, in every gesture, the will to share life with someone fully and truly is revealed. It is no longer a dream but a reality that is being built with small daily actions. The desire to be close, to share the simplest and deepest moments, is now what matters most. Each choice made is a confirmation that the path is being walked with authenticity. The heart, once confused and insecure, now knows exactly what it wants. It is no longer a matter of waiting for something to happen but of making it happen. The being finds the strength to surrender to what is felt, without fear of the unknown. The desire to live the fullness of love is the greatest motivation, and it is this force that drives every step taken. It is not a fleeting impulse, but a profound decision that comes from within. The need to connect, to live what is felt, is now undeniable. What once seemed like a distant longing is now an urgency that can no longer be ignored. The soul feels the need to fill the void with something real, something that makes sense. It is no longer about waiting for the right moment to arrive, but about creating that moment with action, presence, and truth. Now, the soul feels the need to stop delaying. The truth of what is desired is clear, and the being feels that the time to act is now. The mind may try to create barriers, but the heart beats strongly, always pointing to the same place, the desire to live this story until the end. Each day brings a new confirmation that the love that exists is not fleeting but something deep that grows with time. The certainty that it is possible to build something true and lasting makes each challenge seem smaller. The being, who once looked at the future with uncertainty, now sees a path lit up. It is no longer about finding a safe place, but about creating a safe space where love and truth can flourish without fear. Every action, no matter how simple, carries with it the intention to build something meaningful. True love does not demand hurry, only truth. There is no need to seek perfection, but to walk with dedication and commitment. Every day, the being chooses again. chooses to live this story with an open heart, with a willingness to learn and grow, regardless of what the future may bring. The choice to live love is what drives the being now, and this decision is the foundation of everything that is being created. What once seemed distant now comes closer naturally. The desire to share life with someone grows stronger and more urgent. It is no longer about waiting for happiness to fall from the sky, but about recognizing that it is present in the daily actions, in the little gestures that show affection, care, and presence. The path to happiness begins now, and the being knows it. Each decision made is a step toward what truly matters. There is no more space for distractions, for doubts. What is felt is clear, and this is what guides the journey. The presence of the other, the desire to share moments, to be genuine, is what is sought now. It is no longer about living in the past but about creating something new, based on truth and mutual respect. The being feels, now more than ever, that the choice to live love is a decision of courage. It is no longer about waiting for the perfect moment, but about creating the perfect moment, making the now the best it can be. The love that is felt does not need explanations, only action. Each step taken is a confirmation that the heart is in the right place. Love is not a feeling that should be kept secret or delayed. It should be lived with intensity, with surrender. Each day, the being feels that it is necessary to be present, to live the moment, to seize the opportunity to build something grand. The future is built from the choices made in the present, and this is the greatest truth that the being carries. The being feels, clearly, that the moment to live the truth has arrived. No longer is it possible to ignore what is felt or hide behind doubts. Every step taken now is a commitment, a firm choice to live love with integrity and courage. The soul knows that there is no turning back, what is felt is deep and true. The path up until now has not been easy, but every challenge was a lesson, an opportunity for growth. Now, there is no room for fear or insecurity. The desire to live a fulfilling reality is strong, and the being knows that, in order to achieve this, space must be made for the truth to flourish. The journey of self-awareness and courage now transforms into a shared journey, a story that will be built together. Everything that once seemed distant begins to align. The doors that were once closed are opening, and the being finds itself prepared to receive what has always been desired. No longer is life lived in waiting, but in action. The movement toward the future is inevitable, and every step taken is a confirmation that the life longed for is possible and within reach. Truth is the force driving this journey. Understanding that happiness is a daily construction and not an external pursuit brings relief and clarity. The being realizes that what is sought is not perfection, but authenticity. Being with someone who shares the same values, who wants to live a life based on respect, affection, and honesty, is the greatest desire now. And this desire is beginning to manifest concretely, day by day. The connection with the other is no longer seen as something dependent on external factors, but as an internal choice. Happiness is found in the present, in daily actions, in mutual care, and in presence. The being recognizes that there is no longer a need to search outside for what is already inside. True love is nurtured by real actions, sincere gestures, and constant dedication. The being begins to understand that what was cultivated in the silence of the heart now needs to be lived in the world. No longer is life lived in shadows, but in the light of truth. The necessary action now is to let love flow freely, without restrictions, without fears. The being is ready to live fully, to share moments, to be who they truly are, without reservations. The path that is unfolding is not easy, but it is the only one worth taking. There is no longer a need to seek external answers, for what is real is already clear. Love is the foundation of everything now, and every choice is made with this truth in the heart. The being is prepared to face any challenge, for they know that, with the one they love by their side, everything becomes possible. The being finally understands that the waiting has come to an end. What once seemed like a distant dream is now a tangible reality. The heart, which for so long lived in uncertainty, now beats strongly with the certainty that the time has come to live the truth. There is no more room to delay what is real. The time to stay on the sidelines has passed. Now, what is desired is a lifetime of discoveries, achievements, and above all, love. The desire to live together becomes urgent, but not by impulse, rather by a deep decision. The being knows that this is not a superficial pursuit, but something that goes beyond what the eyes can see. The soul feels, with clarity, that this is the path to follow. And each step taken is an investment in a future to be shared, in a love that is built on respect and sincerity. Now, the being finds itself ready to face the challenges that come along the way. The fear that once held back movements is now left behind. What matters is the certainty that the truth is more powerful than any obstacle. The connection with the other strengthens with each passing day, and the presence of the one who is loved is more valuable than anything that may have been lost until now. The choices made from here on will be based on the commitment to live fully, without reservations. The being has no more time to waste on doubts or indecision. The love that once hid in silence now expresses itself in every gesture, every word, every action. The will to build something real and lasting is the force that moves each step on this new path. The life to be built is simple but full of meaning. The pursuit is not for perfection, but for sincerity in every act, surrender without fear, and constant presence. The being knows that, alongside the one they love, happiness is not a distant destination but a daily journey, filled with lessons and meaningful moments. There is no more room to live in the past or fear the future. The being now recognizes that love is not something found outside oneself, but something that is born in the heart and reflected in every action. It is not a search for something lacking, but an acceptance that what is needed is already there, in plain sight, ready to be lived. True love is not measured by what is said, but by what is done, by mutual trust and constant dedication. The future is being drawn clearly and brightly. There is no longer any shadow of doubt, only the certainty that the chosen path is the right one. The truth is the foundation upon which everything will be built. No matter what the world around may say, the being knows that what is sought is real and that it is possible to live everything that was promised in silence. Love is now the path, and nothing else matters. Now, the time has come to take the next step. The heart is open to receive everything that is good and true. The being knows that by taking this step, love will be lived in its fullness. What once seemed distant is now immediate, urgent, necessary. The being is ready to be happy, to live the life they always dreamed of, to walk by the side of the one they love. If you feel this message was made for you, click the thanks button below to help the channel continue sharing more messages like this. Your contribution is essential for more people to receive these words of light and hope.